Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and the next Spider-Man character review that I'm going to do is the Rhino Sinister 6 version. There are a couple other versions of Rhino that are not this version, but they're really not even worth getting. To me personally, they're terrible figures, and this is the only one you should bother getting. It is a little bit expensive though. That's why, if you'll notice, I have a couple smudges on the chest, and the horns got a paint chip on there. And there's a little tiny crack on the ankle, but none of those are too big of an issue for me. I got this guy for 15 bucks because of those issues. Normally it goes for about 30, roughly about 30 bucks. So I'm perfectly happy with those. I'll touch up the paint, and other than that, it'll be fine. He stands at 8 1/8 inches tall, so he's a nice big figure, real bulky. Got good weight to him, real nice sculpt, nice articulation. Really, this is the Rhino to get, hands down. You can't go wrong with it. Let's look at the articulation. Standard neck articulation has got the disc in there with the rotation on top of that. It is somewhat limited though due to the shape of the neck and the head, so you can't get his head to, look up all that much. Unfortunately, it's okay though, not too bad. He's got standard shoulder articulation, the ball joint with the bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, not a full 90 degrees but pretty close. He's got a wrist swivel and then individually articulated fingers. The only problem is all he's really good for is making a fist, because that pose doesn't really do much, so might as well just make the fist with him and leave it at that. Same on this side, he's got the individual finger articulation, but there's really no point. So you might as well just leave them like that. The torso, the diaphragm articulation, it's got that one where it can go all over the place. So I like that. You can go to the side, front, back. Lots of range of motion there. It's got a waist twist. Really big waist twist, but it doesn't look bad because it's relatively round. It's not too oval to where it's got big parts sticking out. So it doesn't look too bad. He's got good hip ball joints, forward, back, side to side. Thigh swivel built in, double jointed knee, really tight joints on the knees, so that's good. He's got the regular ankle pivot, no ankle rocker on this guy though, which I really think every figure should have, so I have to dock it some points for the lack of an ankle rocker. But it does have toe articulation, so that's okay. You can get him in some pretty decent poses. The lack of the ankle rocker kind of ruins it though. It really limits it because you can't spread his legs too far. You have to kind of keep him forward, straight forward and back. But you can do well enough. And he looks pretty good. I mean, that's just a pretty bland pose right there, but still. Like I said, it's the best version of Rhino, so I do recommend you get it. The sculpt work is pretty decent on him. If you look at the head, the face looks pretty good. The Rhino eyes don't look too bad. The horns, personally I think they should both be pointing in the same direction, not one on top and one on the front, but that's the way they did it. The whole body is covered with texture, and it is dry brushed and shaded nicely, so looks really good overall. You can really see some shading on the back there. Looks good. The joints are big, so they're big pegs and big peg holes, but you can't really avoid that on a big figure like this, so I can't really complain. Fingernails are painted, toenails too, so that's basically the rundown. The paintwork's pretty solid. Again, of course, mine is missing some paint here and there, but if it was brand new, it would look good, and the sculpt work's pretty much on point. Can't really complain about the sculpt work any more than I did about the horns. So that's about it. I do recommend you get him. Try to get him for a good deal though. It is the best Rhino by far, so I guess it's worth the price tag as long as you don't pay too much for it. So go out, try to find it. If you can get it that's a little bit beat up like mine, then you can touch it up and it's good as new anyway. So that's what I would suggest. So thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for future reviews and some more custom figures, and in the meantime, keep collecting.